It's August 2019 and the sporting summer in the UK is never ending. It's time for cricket's age-old rivalry to fuel up as it's Ashes time in England. Summer in UK can mean only one thing in the cricketing world, that the Ashes fever is back and both teams will be giving it their all to win the famous Little Lord. England is coming off a high after winning their first ever 50-over World Cup and that too at home, while rivals Australia have their top batsmen Steve Smith and David Warner back to boost a strong-looking Aussie lineup. Australia plays no official warm-up games before coming into the first test at Birmingham, while England beat the Irish in a 4-day test at Lord's. The Ashes can be a tough tour on a cricketer, as over the course of 5 long grueling tests, a certain player can get the better of you and make you their money. There have been some players in the past who would certainly agree with this, Jonathan Trott being one of them. Jonathan Trott left the 2013 Ashes series in Australia just after one test. If you remember the series distinctly, this is when Johnson was tormenting the English with his hostile fast bowling. Trott had no answers to what Johnson had to offer and left the tour just after one test. Glenn McGrath can arguably be the best fast bowler to ever play the sport, but it seems like the tall, lanky fast bowler had a particular liking towards former England captain Michael Atherton. Once McGrath got the better of Atherton, there's practically nothing he could do to get out of jail. Atherton had a dismal record against McGrath, one which people at Sky will keep reminding him of throughout the summer. Kevin Peterson was one of the best batsmen England have ever produced. KP was unorthodox and had his own style of batting, but was super effective when it came to run scoring. One bowler who understood the chinks in KP's armour was Australia's fast bowler Peter Siddle. Siddle managed to get the English batsman 10 times in his career, a feat no other bowler has managed before. Shane Warne was a master of his craft. Even though he's a gentle leg spinner, but his attitude was that of an aggressive fast bowler. Once Shane Warne gets the better of you in the mental battle, well, it's game over. The batsman's got no chance of surviving Warnie's leg spin. It feels like Alex Stewart had no answers to Warne's brilliance and got out to the leg spinner 14 times in his career. That is the most Warne has managed to get a batsman out throughout his illustrious career. This series could be decided on which team can get the combination right as quickly as possible, as both teams seem to be in transition and are struggling to find the perfect winning formula. We could witness a lot of Ashes debuts during the course of the summer. Top 5 Ashes debutants to look out for are: at number 1 we have England's opening batsman Jason Roy. Jason Roy had a stellar World Cup with the bat as he emerged as one of the most dominating batsmen of the tournament. It's a key reason why England was able to clinch their first ever 50-over World Cup. Jason Roy is supposed to open the innings for England this Ashes, as he regularly does for his limited over side, but this could be a risky selection as he normally bats in the middle order for his county team Surrey. Can he continue to be super aggressive in conditions where the ball has the upper hand over the bat? Only time will tell. At number 2 we have Australia's left-hand opening batsman Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris has been one of the heaviest scorers in the Australian domestic circuit, and he emerged as a top run getter in the Sheffield Shield competition. Harris made his debut for Australia in a difficult series against India but showed signs of a proper test opener. Assuming David Warner gets his position back top of the order, Marcus faces stiff competition to get into the squad as Cameron Bancroft and Joe Burns will be eager to make a mark for themselves. The diminutive southpaw from Victoria has been reunited with coach Justin Langer, who once called him mediocre with flashes of brilliance. Let's see what Marcus has in store for us this summer. At number 3 we have England's baby-faced all-rounder, Sam Curran. Sam Curran had a wonderful start to his test career as India had no answers to his swinging ball up front and his counter-attacking approach with the bat. He had a dream start to his career but got some sort of a reality check when England lost the test series in the Caribbean. England's premier fast bowler Stuart Broad had to sit out because Curran with his all-round abilities was more fancied by Root and his management team. Curran definitely has the ability to be the game changer for England, and it's an unknown commodity for Australia to handle. If he plays the way he played against India, then you never know, he could go on a roll and replicate what Flintoff did in 05 and win the series for his team. At number 4, we have Australia's left-hand middle-order batsman Travis Head. When most Aussie batsmen struggled against India in the Test series down under, Travis was the only batsman who got some solid starts but couldn't convert them into a big score. Nevertheless, he showed applicability and grit in that series, and that paid off against Sri Lanka as he struck a century in the last test of the home season for Australia. This will certainly help him boost his confidence as a test player, but facing Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad in their own backyard is a different challenge altogether. It'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. And finally, at number 5, we have England's fast bowler Jofra Archer. Jofra Archer was the real English hero as he delivered the first ever 50-over World Cup for his nation by being outstanding throughout the World Cup campaign. He made an average bowling lineup look like a good one, and that's what world-class bowlers do. He had a few doubters before the World Cup because of his lack of experience in that format, but has shunted each one of them with his performances. He would be the X factor for Joe Root and his men come the Ashes series, but there were some fitness concerns with him coming into the first test at Birmingham. If he's fit and his pace is as high as it was in the World Cup, then we're in for some serious fast bowling by this man. Jofra would definitely be targeting a few baggy greens to make them fly off the Aussie heads. Can he create a similar sort of impact as Mitchell Johnson did in 2013? Only one way to find out. Catch the live action from August 1st.